Hi, Sis here with another Last of Exile. Last of Epoch? Last Epoch. Zizaran with a Last Epoch video. I recently tried out the new patch for Last Epoch. Last Epoch is another action role-playing game similar to Path of Exile with a very small and passionate dev team. And I do have a separate video like reviewing the game and talking about it. I might make another one after going more deep into it after the Gauntlet or after D2. But it's a really, really cute game, and my favorite thing about the game is you just very clearly see the game improving over time. It was an absolute turd when I first played it. It was very bad, and it's just really, really, they've just been putting hard work in, and it really shows, and that's what I really liked about it. And as you can see in the background here, I am fighting, spoiler alert, I guess, I'm fighting the new endgame boss. Well, not endgame, it's the new campaign boss. And the campaign is really hard in Last Epoch. It's a really cool experience. And the last boss is it's hard. I managed to do it first try on my ball lightning or static orb character, but I did play two characters, so I want to talk a little bit about those. So first I started a new character and I wanted to make a Lich, and that's because I had basically a really rare item. It's like a drop only mode, so it was like tier 7 physical damage on a really, really good war staff. And I wanted to try that out, and everyone's saying, okay, you should go Lich. But then, and I talked a little bit to a very experienced Last Epoch player called Lizard, and he was like, well, you're probably better off leveling with Poison Reaper or Lich. And then you can go Fizz Crit later with that weapon, because it's a really insane weapon. It's probably the best item I've dropped so far. So I started doing that, and I was like, oh, cool, let's try that. And we can quickly just show the character in use here, so I can talk a little bit about, and I didn't follow anything for this. I think I've done somewhere between 20 to 30 builds. And so far I've followed 2 guides, both from Boardman21. He made a druid and a static orb guide, and I followed those. So this is I shouldn't have activated Lich while in town, so now it's gonna last longer. But this is basically a thing that I'm currently poisoning myself and healing all the time, and then it's gonna, over time, just take for more and more damage. So I won't be able to sustain it infinitely, but I can sustain it for a decent amount of time. And then I do have other abilities too that I'm using. Then I will end my self-poison. That will start doing loads of damage to myself because I'm no longer poison capped without it. And I kind of have some downtime. I don't really like fighting things while in this state, because I'm pretty weak. I'm pretty weak in this state. I basically have I'm already dead on this character. This character actually ended up dying. So that's actually the main amount of damage I have. This locks my HP at 33%, and I generally have a large amount of leech that lasts for a long time. And with the death seal active, I do actually really good damage. But it's pretty scary for hardcore. The build is a little bit like lighting yourself on fire while screaming, "This is fine. This is fine." But yeah, that is pretty much this character. Just have some pretty generic gear. Crafting system's really fun in this. There's 2 uniques. Everything else is rares. And then when you die, you're basically in, well, shame core. Basically, you are in soft core, but you are actually called a ghost. So shame core is what I like to call it, because you can continue playing. And it's basically same as standard in Path of Exile. But yeah, I think the ghost tag is pretty cool. Other than that, I have this character, which was very, very powerful, and I actually killed myself. I jumped into a boss, and I did this one move, which keeps me in place, but amplifies my damage. And when I tried to end it, I got stunned or frozen, and it basically just did not end. Kind of similar to Blade Vortex, Spectral Helix, or Io from Dota. And it's a very, very cool character. The game definitely has there's a few zones that feel a little bit empty. That's probably the only really annoying thing with this game. But it is a slower pace than Path of Exile, which is for the most part a good thing. PoE is too fast. But yeah, this character was insane. Absolutely insane. I will 100% be remaking it. I basically ended up dying to just, yeah, I teleported on top of the boss and suicided. This is what I was following a guide from Boardman21 on. Really, really strong shit. Really enjoyed it. Super fun to play. Early on, I leveled with Glacier, and then as soon as I got this, I switched into it. And for a while, I used Glacier to tide me over. Glacier was like better for a little bit, but 10 levels after getting it took off really, really hard. When I put myself in this like static thing, I just insane damage. Insane damage. And there's just this storm of death around me. Cool. I did the last campaign boss literally first try. It was very hard, even on this build, which is very strong. And I would say for the most part, in Last Epoch, it's harder than in Path of Exile to fuck up a build, which is a good thing. There's a lot of things that you very easily see like, oh, this will be a cool combo. These things will work together. That's probably like a really, really good thing about the game. Not everything needs to be super punishing and in depth to the point where you aren't sure how things work. I actually haven't played for 2 big patches. They do pretty big patches with fairly little advertisement. They probably should advertise better. But I guess they're pretty hesitant to, since they are still in early access and still working hard on their game. They probably want to focus more on that, which I get. Very 2 big patches that I missed. One is a big endgame patch, so I haven't played all the new endgame stuff. And then there was the new campaign thing, which I have now finished. But you can actually like go to the endgame stuff before finishing the last act. And as you can see, this is a very fun build to play. You do have to like do a lot to like manage your mana and stuff. You have to use like focus to like gain mana and haste. And then you have your fire ward and you have your teleport that you ideally want to use as a defensive thing because it gives me a lot of protection. And then yeah, we have the risky Arcane Ascendance, locks you in place. But we can see it. Killing blow, damage type, lightning. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened there. I didn't have my ward up. What's my lightning rest? It's 75. So, the defense... that was funny. The defense that I'm doing for this character is I was trying to do endurance. Endurance is basically like, there's 2 stats. There's endurance, which is how much damage reduction there is, capped at 60, so you can never get more than 60% damage reduction. And then there's the endurance threshold. So say that I managed to get 666 endurance threshold, then everything, all damage I take would get 60% reduction. And then also the resist. So it's a very good thing for character that can't always get a crazy amount of life, and that's what I was going to try to do. This character felt very squishy, and a lot of people were saying like, yeah, this thing is insane damage, but can be very squishy. So I would have wanted to overlevel quite a lot more. Okay, I'm not going to lock myself in this time. What is that? Oh, it's like lightning thunder. So I guess just locking myself in was bad. Very scary for hardcore, the Arcane Ascendance. I really would like something else. Is that you get so much defense by being mobile, like not being hit. And yeah, again, I do have videos on Last Epoch if you don't know much about it. Really cool thing is like every skill has its own skill tree. So when you first get this skill, it just throws an orb like a lightning ball. And then you can make them like spin around you. But yeah, really cool character. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And just wanted to make a quick thing about it. So thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video. And another thing, you can support me and what I do by buying Last Epoch on Nexus. It basically gives me the cut instead of Steam. The only downside is if you're planning on refunding it within 2 hours, you can't do that. Other than that, I get $9 for every purchase. So it's a pretty great cut. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video. More importantly, try to die less than I do.